I don't know if you all can see the dash, but see it blink? That escalated quickly. There is no more ignition switch here, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm a little bit away from the house. Good morning and welcome to Best of the Backroads. Today it's a little bit different video, and I'm going to talk to you guys while I get ready for work. And we're going to take the DRZ. The DRZ hasn't been out in a while. Time to give it a ride. And Friday seems like a good day to take it to work. I haven't been uploading in a little bit. So I recorded, or have recorded, mostly on GoPros. And I had 2 GoPros and a phone, and that's pretty much what I did my recording on. And one of those GoPros was kind of failing on the BDR. It kind of roasted just through general use or misuse, but it was kind of dying. And then the second GoPro got dropped. And you think they're tough, but when you drop them from a moving motorcycle, it doesn't do them any good at all. So I knew I'd have to replace the GoPro. I also knew that that I might want a 360 camera, which is what you see right there. Here I am following a bus. I never get, I must be late today. I never get behind a bus. Sid kind of bought me this 360 that I'm playing with today for the very first time. Couldn't resist it, got it yesterday night, charged it up, and now I'm putting it into practice right now. And that's what we're doing. Oh, there it goes, the bus is turning off. That is what we're doing on my morning commute, is recording it in 360. Well, I tell you guys that I'm back. I've got cameras. Oh, and the phone. I mentioned the phone. Well, my phone got water damaged right almost a couple hours after I smashed the GoPro. Let's see. Well, that's weird. Huh. My bike just shut off and I had to go down and turn the ignition key back on. That's super weird. Man, that's unfortunate. Nah. Alright guys, so it just did it again with where it shut off and the ignition stopped. So I pulled into this Texas Roadhouse to see what the problem is, and let me see if I can show you guys. The problem is, this is the on position. This is between the on position and the off position, and so when I'm riding, this is jiggling, and just when it gets to the on position, it falls off. So I turn it off, I gently scroll, and it turns on. But if I actually put it in the on position, the ignition doesn't work. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I only work 4 or 5 miles away, so it's not a big deal. I just have to keep pushing it up, but that means something is wrong with the ignition switch. Alright, so I'm back on the bike, leaving work. I had to jiggle the key a little bit. Unfortunately, if I just jiggle the wires, it doesn't help anything. It really is just this key vibrating out, which means it's the switch. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, why isn't your key up here? Why is your key down here? Well, I need this for my other stuff. This is the fan, auxiliary lights, and this is that auxiliary USB port for camera equipment if I'm on a big trip. And so I mounted this to the side. This should not be heavy enough to have caused a problem. I think it's not so much a problem with the ignition. Well, I think it's not so much a problem of where it's mounted, but the fact that this bike is, I better turn signal on. The fact that this bike is 22 years old. So that 22 years old is a long time for a bike to be in service, and it's even longer when you consider that this is a dirt bike. As a dirt bike, I turn it off and on a lot. You know, we'll get out and we'll start riding and we'll see a view, we turn it off. We want to walk ahead for some terrain, and we turn it off and back on. Plus, it's just seen lots of miles, especially in the last 3 years. And when you ride a bike all day, you're turning it off and on a lot more than you would a road bike or any other type of bike. Let me get out of traffic there. I hate it when they make that slow turn. It's just, man, get out and get in the lane. You know what I mean? Get in the lane. I don't know if you all can see the dash, but see it blink? That escalated quickly. There is no more ignition switch here. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm a little bit away from the house. Leave it to this DRZ to have carried me safely all the way across Colorado, the Northeast BDR, up through the Mid-Atlantic states, everywhere in the world, and then I can't get home from work on it on a Friday. I mean, I'm just, nope. It is out. It's definitely dead no matter how I turn it, how I turn the key. I'm a couple miles from the house on Friday, and the bike's not working. I could almost walk home, I could call somebody, but calling somebody doesn't seem like what I want to do here. I think I'm actually going to hotwire the bike. So, and I'm not, let me show you. All right, so if you look here, it's pretty simple. This comes off the ignition, and then it's only 4 wires here. And it occurs to me that I can go ahead and get the right wires together and hotwire this vehicle to get me to the house. And that's what we're going to do. The downside to hotwiring a vehicle on my way home from work is I don't actually have a toolkit on the bike. Who would have thought to pack it when you're just going a little bit? So all I have is a knife. So what we're going to do is cut the wires with this knife and splice them back together without electrical tape and see if that'll get me a couple miles home. I think that'll work. We're going to give it a shot. I'd show you how to do it, but I actually think YouTube would frown on me showing how to hotwire a DRZ. All right. We are back. And I am riding a hot-wired bike. Oddly enough, it didn't take too long. Surprisingly fast. I guess I got the right wires just looking at the looking up a diagram that it worked okay. No one actually stopped me, which is weird because I'm in the middle of town trying to hotwire a bike. No one said anything. Makes me feel like my bike is really, really safe. And unfortunately, it's always on. When I get back, I'll have to pull the battery when I get to the house. But it's going to get me to the house in this always on state. You never know what you're going to have to do. Luckily, and this is why the DRZ can sometimes be a really good adventure vehicle, there is nothing to a DRZ that is terribly technologically limiting. I mean, it just a couple wires, you're back on the road with no issues at all. Look at that. Oh, taking bumps again. Let's take this one. Yeah. Now they're working on that house. We are so close to the neighborhood. I am one hill away from just even being able to drift downhill in case it goes off. I think I've escaped. I think I've made it. I think that I'm gonna get this bike back home today. Huh.
Well, Mikey built a rocket and aimed it at the sky. I don't know aimed it at the sky.